Namaste everyone. I'm Chitra Kolluru. Today I shall share some perspectives on the yogic attitude towards money. Money, as we all know, is an essential resource to live, work, grow or create. Not giving any importance to money is both impractical and impeding in daily life. As in life, so on the spiritual path, money is an essential resource for getting work done. But at the same time, an overindulgence with money may deter us from our goal. The ancient Indian culture has evolved a system of 4 broad pursuits for the realization of individual and collective life, termed as Purusharthas. Artha and Kama, the first two, deal with material needs and vital desires and emotions respectively. Dharma, the third, is the system of higher mental and moral ideals and values. Moksha, the final, is the spiritual need for God, fulfillment and perfection. These are believed to take prominence given the stage of life one is in and are accepted as indispensable parts of one's evolutionary growth and development. The problem emerges when we come to see money as the solution to all problems in life and continue our pursuit of it across all of life's stages. To understand the right approach one must have towards money, it is important to understand the nature of money and the implications of managing it. Our attempt in this video will be to understand money from a psychological and a spiritual perspective. Let's look at the psychological aspect of money. Why do we pursue wealth with such dedication and single-mindedness? It is because we believe that through wealth, we can control people and the circumstances in our lives. Money has an influence on the desire mind in us. When we desire money, we actually desire for comfort, luxuries, enjoyment, social image, the favors and preferences from society that come with it. Falling habitual and prey to these demands of our desire mind, we pursue money and are often filled with fear of losing it. We amass and accumulate to achieve power. In fact, even our nature and behavior is shaped and determined by money. Who we make friends with or avoid, what works we take up or reject, has a bearing on the money angle associated with them. It is due to this grip that money tends to have on our nature and behavior that many spiritual disciplines insist on a complete self-control, detachment and renunciation of all bondage to wealth and of all personal and egoistic desire for its possession. Let's now look at the spiritual aspect of money in the light of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. Money is the visible sign of a universal force. Its influence is all-pervading and it is indispensable to the fullness of outer life. These are the thoughts of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. They say, in its origin and in its true action, it belongs to the divine, but is delegated here and hence is put to various nefarious uses owing to the ignorance of our lower human nature. But at the same time, shunning money altogether leaves it in the hands of hostile forces in the world. What then should our attitude be towards money? Sri Aurobindo in his book The Mother says, one must have a weak bondage to the habits that owning wealth creates. When we fall into the habit of enjoying the things that money buys, we miss them. When it changes hands and feel miserable and lost. He further indicates that the right attitude is to live detached when wealthy. So, there is no sense of loss or despair when wealth is gone. This can be cultivated when one believes that wealth belongs to the divine, and we are but its trustees, not its owners. Like a good trustee, we must put money to the right use and not indulge in the luxuries or enjoyments it can buy us. Once we ingrain this quality, we also extend it to others and do not judge the greatness of a person by the show of wealth, but look for something of greater value, perhaps an inner nature. Money influence on the collective, economic barbarism. Elaborating on how the clutch of money has taken over a large part of the society and given rise to a set of attitudes and behaviors that govern our very life, Sri Aurobindo talks of a term he coined called economic barbarism, which is centered around the man who thinks nothing of culture, nobility, elevated thinking, morality or religion, but considers only the rich or materially successful man as the ideal. To amass wealth, compete and win in business at any cost, to earn a reputation through money and a show of abundance, to possess what one desires would be the aim and definition of success in such a man's life. To such a man, beauty, art, poetry, or the fine arts would be an ostentation or a nuisance. In addition, the objective of education would be utilitarian, to equip man for success and make capable of earning riches. To him, the goal of science would be reduced to useful inventions to make life comfortable, or business and humans more productive. The rich plutocrat and the successful capitalist are the ones considered supermen of such a civilization, and these are the ones that rule society. In such a commercial age, cautions Sri Aurobindo, with pursuit of vitalistic satisfaction and productiveness, the soul of man would not stay for long, meaning that people will either walk away from such a society or look for alternate ways of living, or the society itself would start to disintegrate or perish without a foundation. If work is a means of earning money in today's world, what should be our attitude towards work? It is important to clarify that business is not prohibited altogether in Sri Aurobindo's spiritual guidance. How are we to reconcile these seemingly contradictory statements? If we refer to the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna justifies works as a means of spiritual salvation and prescribes a yoga of works in addition to Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. All depends on the spirit in which a thing is done, the principle on which it is built, and the use to which it is turned. The Gita clarifies that working in a material world by the very act does not create bondage or sin. Work must be done without desire or attachment to any fruit or reward, without any egoistic attitude or motive, and To elevate it even further, work must be done as an offering to the divine. Let's now gather some inspiration from our ancient scriptures on how to treat wealth. Having established the attitude towards work, it is important to clearly understand the approach one must hold towards money, which is one of the results of work. Sri Aurobindo ascertains that greed for money-making has to be absent from one's nature if a noble or spiritual life is what one values. An undue attachment to money must be renounced from one's consciousness. If the need arises, one must not be afraid to live very simply without luxuries, while on the other hand, forcibly imposing or taking on the life of an ascetic is quite unnecessary, even for spiritual growth. We have many examples of spiritual men like Janaka, the king of Mithila in Ramayana, and Vidura, the able minister of Hastinapur in Mahabharata, that have held positions of power and influence in society while being detached from wealth and turning inwardly to a spiritual path. It was abundance that helped us create the infinite marvels of Brihadishwara and Srirangam. Abundance that allowed the Kerala School of Mathematics to perform abstract calculations that eventually led to calculus. Universities of eminence such as Oxford, Cambridge, MIT, Stanford have all come up owing to the abundance of Britain and America. It's time to understand the origin and the mechanics of money. The historians of money trace its origin to the interchange of goods and services born of the interdependence between human and human. Constant and repeated interchange creates a circulating force. This fluid force of circulating interchange is the essential nature of money. The more it circulates, the more it grows. Concept of cash flow being neither too high nor too low, but in a state of flow is based on this principle and ensures the financial health of the organization. The mother points out that the money force to manifest, it must be generously spent with discernment, judging the right use and recipient of it without hoarding it meaninglessly. She further elaborates, while velocity of circulation determines quantitative growth in the community's economy, the nature of the needs, desires and motives that the money power fulfills in the community determines its qualitative growth. Finally, this brings us to what is a spiritualized economy as an antidote to economic barbarism. The negative influence of the overbearance of money in life is manifold, with social implications, as we have seen, of economic barbarism. Sri Aurobindo suggests a spiritualized economy as the antidote to economic barbarism. Its aim would not be to create a huge engine of production, whether of competitive or of the cooperative kind, but to give men the joy of work according to their own nature and free leisure to grow inwardly, as well as a simply rich and beautiful life for all. So, as we can see, wealth put to use to amass more wealth or to fulfill extraneous vital pleasures or desires, or even to build only a material abundance for the collective, is not sufficient or even the right use of this force. Wealth, while sustaining necessary abundance of the community, must help create a life of quality, higher and finer pursuits, a wider distribution for balanced ownership, and a material base for upholding dharma and the pursuit of spiritual progress. That would be a more wholesome use of this universal force. To read these concepts in detail, please refer to the compilation on the Yogic Attitude Towards Money, published by Sri Aurobindo Society. You can download an online copy for free. For a printed version, you can write to renaissance@aurosociety.org. Thank you. Namaste.